everybody, Rachel here, and I just want to thank Devin for discussing conflict management. I think that you used a lot of great examples this week in your presentation. Moving forward, I will be discovering the topic of communication. As for other roles, I was the summarizer, and it was my job to summarize information for the group. Rotating roles every week has really allowed for me and my group members to see strengths and weaknesses. And through repetition, for example, I get to be the leader twice, or I get to be the summarizer twice. It's really allowed for us to see, to get stronger, to move forward through the week. So if I didn't like the way I led the first week, I was able to be a better leader the next week. It's something that I've really enjoyed, and I think that improvement has been the group's biggest goal. With that, we are going to move on to our discussion of communication. According to Puskar, a writer for Forbes, 79% of people work on virtual teams within the workforce. 79! 79, I would say, is a rather large statistic. The workplace is becoming more reliant on technology, and this course has just been the introduction to what life may be like in the workforce after graduation. Just because business doesn't happen face-to-face anymore, or just as business doesn't happen face-to-face anymore, neither does communication. Today's communication is dependent upon conference calls and emails to make it more challenging to really get to know your partners. This is true within the online classroom setting. In fact, in my 4 years at Baker, I have yet to take a course that was anything like this. I've never had to communicate with another student other than maybe generating a few comments within a discussion board. This course has forced me into a situation in which I was required to communicate within a group with others. I couldn't just shut my phone off. I had to be respectful of other members, and I had to really be there for them. Just like in the business world, we use communication forms and within my group, such as shared documents, emails, phone calls, and even texting. Texting has probably been our number one source of communication. My phone, I can't even go through the day without my phone going off. So we've really had to be there for each other, and I think it's been great. We have to respond. We have to be present. Natalie Berg, writer for Forbes, another writer, said that collaboration technology has actually already been around for the last 20 years. 20 years ago, we refused to embrace it. This is something that we are just now starting to realize that we have to embrace. The workforce is changing. In fact, there's always going to be those people that criticize. There's always going to be those people who aren't willing to adapt. My grandpa, for example, the lady refuses to get a computer. She has no need for it. She has never even used the internet. I don't even think she has a cell phone. But she doesn't work, so she doesn't have to. That's not the case for you and I and for other students within the class. And it's a common practice now for people to work at home. Even students like us, we're able to learn from home. This wasn't something that we were able to do before. We were not able to go to college from the comfort of our own couch. This requires us to communicate in different ways. We have to embrace that technology. Collaboration with my group from home is very much different than within a face-to-face setting. Face-to-face settings, we used to be sitting at maybe the same table in the same room, maybe over coffee, and it was just you and your group members. Today, documents are being edited by multiple people all over the world at the same time. It is sharing screen data and chatting over video. These are the exact forms of communication that my group has to embrace to collaborate with one another. I remember back to, for example, communication or technology has also not only presented more challenges, but it has helped us to, at the same time, overcome them. Back in week 2 or 3, we were using PowerPoint to collaborate, which I do not recommend for the record. On Sunday night, we were all having a panic attack because we could not open up our PowerPoint file. It had become too large. It had gotten so large because we had uploaded individual videos for every single slide, and it was crashing PowerPoint. So we had to very quickly start texting and making phone calls with one another and figure out how we were going to find a solution. Fortunately, Stephanie was able to log into the PowerPoint. She was already in there as we were uploading our videos. and she was able to have us send information through email so that she could upload it and put it into the file. She then saved it for us, and we were all able to turn it in before deadline. And you better believe the next week we did not use PowerPoint. We became Google Slide users. It is not just about the technology, though. It's how we communicate with one another. My group, it's been a strength of ours, communication. We've been very good at it. All of us respond to one another. We've been very accommodating, and we've been very respectful. And these are all very important things that you have to do when you're working with one another. You have to look at other perspectives. You have to take a step back, and you have to be able to assess the situation and figure out how you are going to communicate. You have to be able to listen. Through text messaging and shared documents, technology allows for tracking of who the last user was to use the application, what kind of document it was, what kind of changes that they made. Same thing within Google Slides or PowerPoint. It lets you know what people are doing. And you can go back in on your own time, as we all have different work schedules, and you can go back and you can see what kind of changes were made. And from there, that is a form of communication, and we can further communicate and discuss so we can put ourselves in the right direction and see what was being done and how to make something better, and if we're all actually okay with changes or improvements or things like that that were being made. Being respectful means that we have to listen to what other people are saying. We have to respect their opinions that they're giving. We have to be polite and considerate. Not all two people are going to agree on everything. And being respectful entails that we understand that. Just to wrap up, technology has allowed for us for closer collaboration and more unified communication. This course has really forced all of us to step outside of our comfort zone and to work with others to create an end product. This is it. This is the last week. This will be our last project, so we really want to give it our all. It's been a great learning experience, and I really plan on keeping in touch with some of these group members. I will leave you with Stephanie to discuss ethics and the critical thinking portion of our project. And just remember, communication is what makes a team strong. Thank you. Thanks for watching.